I think we're live. Hello, hello. If this works, then I guess we'll know it works. This is mostly a test if this doesn't stay, but because I should have it connected to my webcam, and it should be using my external microphone, which I already think it's not, but we can sure as heck try. Okay, let's tap. I don't think it's working. That's okay. We're going to get it to work. We're going to get it to work, and it's going to be awesome once it happens. But right now, we're rocking out with the not external microphone. I even had a webcam that should be running, but I don't think it is. But that's okay, because we're going to get it to work. Right now, it should be working fine. I'm just really probably quiet. Actually, it wasn't quiet on my phone. But it would be nice to have this external because I do want to be back here. Yes, it is running. Let's see. That's to mute myself. That's something. It is running. I do know that for sure. Can I not edit anything while I'm in this menu? I don't want to end the stream now. Can I really not edit? Then I might have to end. Because, yeah, I should have my lapel. I have the lapel. Thank you, audio technician, Little Mike Productions. Also, I have the webcam, but it's hooked up to a Chromebook, which is, Let's make sure my computer's not blocking this. I don't even have the fire set up, which is like the main point of this, is to burn stuff and you guys to hang out with me while I do that. Camera. Hi, the 3 people that are here. Wasn't plugged in all the way. I wonder if that's working. Stupid me. I don't know if that's working. If anyone could let me know, I'm just going to look on my phone. If not, just going to look on my phone. Tap, tap. Hey, we've got it working. What's going on, guys? I'm going to play Minecraft with you in the background. Working. Cool. Now that I've got it working, here, let's see. I have this cool webcam. This is what I use for all my Zoom meetings. But it seems like it's not going to work for me. It'd be nice because it's it probably looks about the exact same as this. But it'd be nice to use. I'm not going to lie. Burn the barn. Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to leave this chat. So this whole thing was going to be through my phone. I bought a converter and everything. Come to find out that you cannot stream from a mobile device unless you have 1,000 followers or 1,000 subscribers. So that ended that really quickly. But my plan anyway was to have this Chromebook out here so that I could see the chat. This is pretty nice. You'll see some flames. I guess I can bring it down. We can bring it down. Yeah. That's the fire. This is me. If I'm leaned all the way back, I could even come this way. I don't want to burn this cord. Lawrence is a furry, came in and said howdy. Hi. I like your name. All right. I'm going to send out a link to this. Just put it on my Snapchat. Make people come. Here we go. Everyone smile. And now we're going to link it. Attach. That wind is nice and blowing. I love it. I love it. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to go get some wood. I'm going to let you guys hang out here. Then I'll kind of light a fire, and then I'll talk to you guys about what I'm going to do. So, be good. Don't fight with each other. I'll be right back. Actually, you might even be able to see me from most of this. Hi. I'm back. I'll let you guys experience me putting things in the fire. This stuff's still really wet. Not wet, but I cut this about 2 days ago. So it's probably not going to be as dry as I'd want it to be. Oh yeah. Definitely. But these leaves should give me enough heat to actually burn something. I just don't want to burn anything that's going on. So I'm going to grab the clippers. I'm back. I've got the clippers. Oh yeah, I already love this fire. It's going to be so good. I'll just drop that in there. Yeah. Ooh, that's not very dry. Para tu besa. Para tu besa. ¿Dónde estás el baño? Das Wasser. Trinke das Wasser. Woo! This might get toasty. I'm going to stop for now. Make sure that I can actually get this going. And make sure I don't burn the shit out of everything I'm doing. So, you guys watch that. Where'd I put the lighter? It's behind here. It's actually under the stuff. Okay. Burn! Woo! Bang! We've got a fire. Hopefully it keeps going. Go, fire. Keep burning. Oh, you son of a... That wind's coming, but it might not light. Come on. How did the pilgrims do it? We don't know. Ooh, that's hot. We might have to resort to cardboard. And it's not very adventure-y of me, but it might have to happen. I have this chair here. I don't know why I don't sit down. We've got a nice smoke coming out of the fire. We've got smoke in the fire. I'm not doing too hot, guys. I might have to go get some of that cedar. Who is Lawrence as a furry? I remember that name from somewhere, but I can't recall who that is. I actually remember that exact name, and maybe my Dishonored stream or my maybe a Metal Gear Solid one. This is my first live stream. My first live stream. I've always done it over the PlayStation, and that's why I didn't know that it couldn't be through mobile. Woo! We got a fire. Right in my face. Get the hell out of here. Yeah, I've got too much leaves, not enough wood. Too much leaves, not enough wood. That was the saying back in 1972. Too much leaves, not enough wood. And it was only commenting on the pubic area. I just changed my name like 5 minutes ago. Okay. I remember someone else maybe... You know what? I know who it is because no one else would say that. But I'm glad you went through the trouble of doing it. And you seem like a really cool guy. Stay in quarantine. Okay. I'm going to try and get cedar. Cedar light up. Always buy a fake Christmas tree because it will light on fire and your house will be on fire once it's dead. The whole point of me saying that is cedar burns really easily. So I'm going to be right back. All right, hello. This cedar is also not very dead. And It might be because we did get a bit of rain, and that sap is still in there, keeping it moisturized. But I have a feeling it's dead enough. I can feel it's pretty dry. So I have a feeling we'll be able to get her done. My whole goal is to not use lighter fluid or gas if I don't have to, but I can. I have the means to do so. So we're just gonna shove this under here. Ugh. Once the thing goes though, after the leaves are gone, there's not a lot of wood. Once again, the 70s slang. Woo! Let's catch it. Well, the green stuff isn't really good. Come on. Come on, Christmas tree. O Tannenbaum, O Tannenbaum. Something, something in German. Yeah. Yeah. Don't smother it. Don't smother it. Do the exact opposite of what I just said. Yeah, burn. Burn. Woo! This might be it, guys. We're getting a lot of smoke because it's green. Obviously. But if it keeps going, we have a chance at fire. Oh, yeah. You guys listen to that crackle. Hot dog, literally. Okay, guys. That's going to get hot. I'm going to have to probably move everything back at some point. But right now, we're doing okay. I don't know if that's going to catch the rest of the fire. Get out of here. I'm going to put the microphone back down. What's up, Shane? How you doing, man? It's good to hear you. I'm not hearing you. I'm reading your text. But it's good to know that you're out here. You're living. We have fire. Not put that on just yet. Woo! That's gonna go. That's gonna go. We're moving back. We're moving back, people. Once we get a nice even burn, it sounds like I'm cooking a steak. Once we get a nice, however you call that, get some embers in there, some coal. Whew, that's hot. Oh my gosh. We're moving back. That wind's coming in. Okay, I actually need to... It looks crazy right now, but I can see the bottom, and it's not going to stay like this. Then after I get a good fire going, I'll let you guys sit here. I'm going to grab a drink inside, but... Would you look at that, guys? It's a cocoon. It's going in the fire. We're just going to do some lazy stuff like that, because that's going to catch. Ugh. This is why you buy a fake Christmas tree. Holy fuck. Don't cuss, kids, but it's hot. It's hot. Ah! Yee, doggy. Woohoo. Sorry, that was probably loud, but that was a bunch of ash on here. What's going on? Got a wrong number call from the Butler County Judicial Building today. Just love to see our taxpayer dollars at work. See, I'll comment on that in a minute. Yeah, look at that. That's all gone now. Whew. Let's get that log in there. We're going to cut this in half. Okay. It's really hot outside. What's up, Jill? We got to get more fire. And when I say that, I speak incorrectly, and we need more wood, which I got back there. I just need to go get it. What I'm trying to say is, I'll be right back. That was a really awkward way of carrying it all, but I did it. Let's get up a little bit. Let's get up. You guys probably can't hear half the stuff I'm saying. But once I sit down, it'll be nice. I promise. I feel like I should know some fire facts. What's going on here? Fireside chat. No fire, no chat. Not even the fire half the time. 100,000. I love the sound of wind. Look, guys. Come on. This is kind of like the pre-stream. I said I would start at 8:30. It's 8:29, so I should be having something. But you're right. There's nothing. You probably can't hear anything. So if you're really that disappointed, go take it up with corporate. All right? Now, I don't know. What do you want? Some smooth jazz? I can't play anything or I get copyright strike. Copyright strike. Settle down. Mostly you, Mike. Now I'm just angry. Oh my God, that hurts. There's a bunch of thorns on that one. Look what happened. He got thorns on my hand. Catch on fire. Catch on fire.
There's not even a fire half the time.
That's what you sound like. Now the smoke is blowing. Oh my God! I come from a... Here, I'll talk over here while we let that burn down a bit. I come from a long family of firefighters. My cousin, who's 2 years younger than me, really likes firefighters. Just kidding. He's like a second cousin, but he's a firefighter. He's also my age. What is this? I expect perfection from the co-creator of the Pickle Skittle Cheese 1 and 2. If you guys never seen that video, don't go looking for it. It's not good. What was I saying? I come from a long line of firefighters. I don't know anyone else who's a firefighter. I think my dad was at one point in Clearwater. But basically, I was born for this. I was born to fight fires or to love fires. Maybe that's it. Hey, don't promote the Pickle Skittle cheese. Maybe if you want to have dirt on me, this is like it when I run for an office, which I won't, but if I run for some kind of office, you guys can be like, do you really want to vote for this guy from the Pickle Skittle cheese? And then I'll show that video and they'll be like, oh, he's mentally impaired. So the fire's out because you guys made me talk about the Pickle Skittle cheese. Holy hell, it's hot. It's so hot outside. I once knew the greatest firefighter in history, Army Man. Oh, I know that guy too. His name's Soldier Man Mike. What's up, Cassie? What's up, Henry? Right now, we don't have a fire. And that's like the whole point of this, is to have a fire. So I'm going to let you guys hang out. You guys don't have to talk to each other. I wouldn't want to if I were you. But I'm just going to try and grab some wood. Okay, good luck. Here, I'm going to put this down. I'm back. Who's doing stuff? There's the link. What's up, Shane? Shane is getting in. I know this is weird. I know two of you in this chat. Hold on. I know two of you in this chat that know Spanish pretty well. At least used to. And I just have the phrase para tu besa in my head. Even if someone wants to Google translate that, tell me what that means. Because I'm just walking around saying para tu besa. I don't know what that means. So you guys, that's your job while I'm trying to start this fire. How's it coming? We've got a fire. Well, we don't. We have a startings of a fire. For your base. Maybe I'm saying the besa part wrong. Para tu besa. Hey, if you could not phone Senor Kenny, that would be terrific. That would actually make me shiver and quake. I would not be happy. I'd actually be sad. Never glad. The worst thing I've ever had. Find out what that means. Good luck. Para 2 is for you. That makes sense. All we need to know is the besa part. I could look up. It's from a song. It's from a Tenacious D song. And I feel a bead of sweat rolling down my head. Oh, there it is, right in the center of whatever that's called, my brow line. Here we go. Para tu beso. B-E-S-O. I repeat, B-E-S-O. Soy el fuego, which means I am hot. I know that one. I used that with Mrs. Kinney a few times. Senora Kinney, excuse me. I also said mi gato caliente or soy y caliente. But para tu beso. About to give you some PTSD. Voy a gozar. The hell does that mean? You're not giving me any PTSD because I don't know what that means. Voy means to. I just realized my fire is now. Beso is kiss. Ah, para tu beso. Jack Black is beating up this guy named Larry at the bar because he hurt Conchita, and she is Spanish, and I think he's saying as many Spanish words as he says. So he goes, "Donde estás mi horse? Ale. Donde estás Larry? Ale. En las montañas? Donde en el cañón? Muy bien. Coldwater Canyon." That was not Spanish sounding. Vivir mi vida. That's that song. I remember that. And then he says, te llamo mi Conchita, yo tengo hambre para tu boca. Mira mi cara, soy el fuego para tu besa, mi amor. This must be really fun for you guys to hear me speak lyrics of a different language that most of you can't understand. I don't have a fire. I don't have a chat. This is going really well. I bet you guys hear that biker. He's getting crazy. Ooh, smoke. Guys, it's really hot. I hate to say this, but I think I need to resort to something a little more flammable. You guys probably can't hear me. You might be able to. I think I need to resort to something a little more flammable. Would you believe me if that guy riding on a motorcycle was going less than 3 miles per hour? Like, it sounds like has his wheel up. He's like he should be going about 35 miles per hour at least. No, he's just sounds like a semi. Okay. I hope my neighbors aren't thinking I'm crazy over there. I think they might be on their porch. I'm going to find some lighter fluid, or we're going to get crazy, and I'm going to throw a propane tank on this. JK, give me this. All right, hello. So instead of lighter fluid, I found some cardboard, and I want to give it another go. I don't want to give up. I don't want the stream that's been about 40 minutes long. I hope it goes on for longer, but I don't want it to be started off with a failure. This is making me want to stream. Don't have face cam though. You know, we make do with what we have. I don't know what that meant, but follow your dreams. fire. We've got fire. And it's blowing right in our faces. Oh my God. That's the face of a concerned person who had a voice crack. You know, people who are able to just like go through life with voice cracks, which, you know, everyone has them. I have one person in particular that I like hold in very high regard. If your voice cracks a lot and you could just like plow through that and then still be like one of the coolest people, that's like a skill. And it might just only be me who notices it. I just watched my brother-in-law say that his tomatoes needed weeding. And now my sister weeded the tomato farm. The tomato patch thing. So the whole point of this stream was to I had some stuff written down. I still have it. We'll get into that a little later. It's only 9. I plan on going until about 12. If no one's here doing it. The whole point of this is to be almost like a podcast. I'll interact with the chat, but if there's no one here, I don't care. I would like this almost to be a just something fun. I'm burning stuff. That's catching on fire really quickly. So once I have a nice burn going, then we will start with topics. And basically, it's just like, mostly it's about, once again, like father figures. But not them, but what they've passed down to me, and that I hopefully will pass down some information to you, or pass up if you're older than me. I'm basically just watching this. Once we have a good bed of embers or wood, then I can kind of let it burn. And I don't have like a log. I'm using a lot of branches because I cut along this fence line all the way back there with those clippers. And that was a hot day, but it was fun. And I had a big pile of brush, and I'm like, what the hell am I going to do with this? I thought I could invite some friends over, but I don't have a lot of those. So I was like, well, I'll make people online watch me do it. Right? Isn't it fun being outside when you're not outside? How's my microphone quality, if anyone's in here? As long as it's like you can hear what I'm talking about, that would be best. Because my lapel's right here, and you should be able to hear everything I say. But if not, that's not good. Obviously. It's great. Thanks, Jillian. Hallelujah. Thanks, Shane. We got the consensus that the audio quality is good. The fire is kind of burning down once again. Once again, the era of no fire is upon us. And I know people are going to get upset. My poll numbers are going to go down. People don't think I can run this country, but they're dead wrong. I know my worth. Okay, we're going to get off that bit because I need to talk about something semi-serious. I'm going to try and get you out of the wind. Our neighbors. Actually, right there. Little quiet, but not bad. So you're 2 out of 3 say great. They use that word, that adjective great, while you said little quiet, but not bad. We're gonna take the 2 of the 3. But thank you for your input. So these neighbors right here, I almost am for sure that they have some kind of exotic bird because it sounds like a pterodactyl. It's like, and it sounds like they probably like the birds from Rio or something. The blue Paraguana paraguis. That's my bird name. But so I don't know what you guys can all hear. You can hear me obviously, but there's some guy on a dirt bike riding around, going about 3 miles per hour. It was me. The window was quiet. Thanks, buddy. See, this is how democracy works. People give their votes, and the littlest person doesn't get a say. Not the littlest, but the smallest majority. Also known as a minority. I'm listening to this guy get crazy on a dirt bike. All right, we're out of fire again. So I'm gonna try and bring some stuff over. If it gets crazy, I still have brush along this fence line that I can go and pick up. A macaw. That's right, a macaw. So I'm gonna get some more wood. You guys chill out. All 5 of you. If you leave, you leave. It's whatever. Good luck. Use gas. To be honest, I do have a gas can. I don't want to do that. Well, you have a point. Lawrence is a furry. But if it comes down to that, I'm going to use gas. Thank you. Woo. Let's start off with a layer of cardboard. Oh God, I haven't even done anything. Uh-oh, we have fire. no one. It's just me and my computer. So he probably thinks I'm crazy. And this is the neighbor I care about. His name's Larry. He's very nice. And he has a cool mustache. Wild. Is he still watching me? I don't know if that's him standing there or his fence. Oh my god. Oh shit. Cardboard. Larry is really cool. He's the coolest guy I know. Right after, I don't know. Who can I sponsor? Who's the coolest guy I know? Larry is basically the coolest guy I know. So, we have a fire. We've been running for about an hour. This is exactly where I wanted to be at 9. I wish it was a better fire. It'd probably be better if I had a log or 2, but I don't. If Kenny Loggins, that is one of the coolest. I don't know him though, like personally. He seems like a cool guy, but I could meet him and then his sultry voice would just insult me. He would say like, "Wow, you're a ginger? You suck." And then my heart would be broken. That's why they say never meet your heroes, because Kenny Loggins will call you a ginger. That wind's coming in. Okay, I don't think that was Larry. It looks like well, I don't want to say that too loudly because it could be him still. It's a hot one. It's a hot one, it said. So today, I was trying to get ready for the stream because I had this planned. Winks at camera. Bink. And I went and was looking for a tripod. I got these octopus arm ones. But so the tripod, $20 or something. But it didn't have this phone mount, which is literally this piece of plastic, this piece of plastic, this piece of plastic with a little spring to press it down. You would think, oh, that's probably like $10. That was another $20. So this robotic arm thing, if I showed just this to like a pilgrim, he would have been like, whoa, that's insane. Let me use that so I don't die this winter. But I got it at Best Buy for $20. But this little plastic thing, they'd probably be like, what is that? A witty thing that looks like this? What is that? A thing to smoke opium on? Haha, good one, me. I would feel like an idiot. But it was also the same amount as this. I don't know. Capitalism. The reason I can't use this is I don't have 1,000 subscribers. And so you can't do a phone YouTube live, but you can do a desktop. I don't understand that. What's the point? It's the same thing. Why? I guess it would be like they don't want you outside. They don't want. I don't know. So that was my adventure today. Inside, I have a drink that I kind of want to go get. But that's why. The exact reason why I don't want to get it is because I don't want that to get crazy. And then I come back and my lap is melted, like Pompeii. That was crazy, right? I don't know what do it is referring to. Getting a drink, possibly. That's okay. I have a new talking subject. Pompeii was crazy, right? So I don't know where it was. It was somewhere in Europe, I'm guessing. Pompeii. Greece? Anyway. This basically Roman. That sounds stupid. This ancient civilization built right next to a giant volcano. They have no way of predicting when something's going to happen with the volcano. But they decided to make this giant city right next to it. It explodes, and they're like, oh, the gods are angry at us. Let's all hang out. Most people just stayed in their houses and burned to death in lava. But when it got hot outside of your door, wouldn't you be like, yeah, I think it's time to go. I don't really care about my mud hut. I'm going to leave and go for the coast, or take a nice vacation to Florida, which at that time probably had indigenous people there. Yeah, Pompeii. Pompeii's a town. There's no country called Pompeii. I knew that. Sorry. I shouldn't be insulting my viewers. I know that Pompeii is the town, or the city, but it's a smaller portion of a country. So, I keep wanting to say India, but that doesn't sound right. Pompeii, India? No, that can't be it. So anyway, I don't know. If you got burnt in a volcano, then you either didn't really care. Well, I guess there wasn't this widespread information. So some guy at the base of the volcano was like, wow, that's cool. And then it was on fire. And then everyone, Pompeii, Italy. See, I was close. It had an I. Thanks, buddy. So the person at the base of the volcano was like, I'm on fire. And then the person that was maybe like 5 miles from them towards the town, they're like, whoa, what was that guy yelling about? Let's go check it out. And then they went, caught on fire, repeat until half of Pompeii is burnt in lava. That was not one of my talking points for tonight, but it came up. Let's get this notebook. Oh my god, I just threw the pencil in the fire. I need to get that. That's going to be melted by the time I get over there. Where'd it go? Where did it go? Oh, it's all the way over here. Oh, thank God. That would have been embarrassing. Oops. I had the book in my hand, waving away the flame. Inside the spine of the book was a pencil, and it flung out, and I thought it went directly into the fire. I don't know where to clip this. Right here. Come on, me. There we go. Talk about the judicial building miscalling me. You said you had something to say about that. I think I said I was going to quote Reno 911, and there's this lady who calls them, and they run up, and they're like, what's going on, ma'am? Is everything okay? She goes, my taxpayer dollars pay for your donuts, and do your job. And then she steals her, the guy's, like, security baton. The smoke is blowing right in my face. Anyway, you were saying something about taxpayer dollars, and I thought that was funny. I guess I can start on the first talking point. I wrote these down yesterday. Some of them are just life advice that I picked up from other people. Some of it's like camping, some of it's just regular life. My fire's out. I'll talk about this first one, and then we'll continue on from there. You're the average of your 5 closest friends. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Got a dip for a few. Okay, you don't have to tell us, but thank you for telling. Uh, that's so mean. I'm sorry. Uh, the your five closest friends. You're the average of your five closest friends. So basically, like who you surround yourself with is who determines what you're gonna be and how you act and your values and your goals. That's why there's this cool study done when Facebook first came out, and it was mostly just college students. And it was that college students, so someone made a page, and it's like you can like stuff. So people are like, Billy likes The Walking Dead or something, and then people joined that community. Someone made curly fries as a page, just fries that are curly, and they found that there was one person at like Harvard who liked that page, and their friends liked it, and everyone. No one really dislikes curly fries unless you're crazy. So but you these people would be friends of a friend's friends, and they'd like curly fries. And so the data came to show that smart people liked curly fries. And so that's like that has nothing to do with the average of your five closest friends. But I thought it was cool that you could say I'm smarter because I like curly fries. The smoke's in my face again. So what I'm saying is surround your people that are smart, and you'll have curly fries, and you'll like curly fries. But in all actuality, the people you're around definitely decide how you act, how you handle situations, what you do. And so you should always try and not be around really crappy people. And uh, and sometimes when you move around, and so you gotta you have to be a good judge of character, which that's some people don't have that, and that's fine. But you're kind of an optimist when it comes to talking to anybody. My fire's blowing around. So you just gotta surround yourself with the people that you would like. I guess that's a good rule of thumb. Only hang out with people that you would like to be them, or not be them, but be like them, or in a way like them. Don't be hanging out with drug dealers. And I mean, I bet there's some good drug dealers, but I don't think that's a stance I need to take. That there's good drug dealers in this world. I think if you sell drugs illegally, you are morally reprehensible, and that you shouldn't sell drugs illegally. Um, that was my first thing. I'll probably come back to that. While the fire's low, I'm gonna get my drink, come back, and then and then I'll put more fire on. I'll put more fire on. I'll put more wood on, and then we'll have a good time. I might actually get a light too, because it's kind of getting dark. If I had a fire, it would be so much nicer. Here we go. So I instantly broke the lid. Probably because it was in the freezer. I just don't want that to spill anything. So that's awesome. The old step and pray method. Oh, it is getting darker. That's called nighttime. BRB. Okay, here's something. I was going to use this light, and it's the same kind of thing with the legs. And guess how much this probably cost someone? Like $5. And that, you're telling me, costs 20? That's BS, to be more exact. This even comes off. If I could find, oh my gosh, someone 3D print me something like that, where I can just slide it into this. We're gonna put this over here. Give me a moment. Oh yeah, that's some dynamic lighting right there. I look like an A24 movie. 9:15. Yeah, I'll just 3D print. Yeah, if you could get that done, that'd be amazing. I would be very appreciative if you could just get that 3D printed, have it here in 10 minutes. And if it can't be here in 10 minutes, I want it for free, and I want a second one. But you can't print two in case you don't get here in 10. You have to go back home, print another one, come back. This time in 8 minutes. So, good luck. Don't disappoint me. Now I have this light shining in my face. I feel kind of strange. Well, let's go to the next topic. All right. Here's a very simple one. You've probably heard it about 14,000 times in your lifetime. Life is too short. Do what you love. I think everyone knows that. They know that internally, I should do what I love. But if you really think about the grand scale of time and our existence on Earth, like, I guess there's a metaphor. If you compared like the Earth's entire lifespan and on a clock, human existence, such as the first caveman to now, is like less than a second on a clock, and the rest of that is something else. And so if you think about that, and we live to be optimistic, about 100 years, give or take. Little less, little more, a lot less, a lot more. Not a lot more. No one's really been over 100 to like the 150s. But anyway, so if you think about that, you are like a fraction of a second on the grand scale of the clock that is the Earth. And so you can think about that pessimistically, like, does life really matter? Should I just die? Should I even try? Well, no. Well, not no. You shouldn't think like that. You should think, well, I have a very small amount of time. Why deal with the BS and do the stuff I like to do? What makes me happy? Make an impact on the world in a way that you've impacted someone or multiple people, or you've left something for the coming generations. And just try your best, I guess. So, people die young, and that definitely sucks. But you can never fault a person for being like, well, he was doing what he loved. He did what he loved, and he died at a young age, but he was very happy in the time he didn't die. There was a split second before he died where he was unhappy, and he said, oh man, I'm kind of bummed out that I'm about to die. And then he died, or she. So that's that's the one reason why they weren't happy. So, live life. Live, love, laugh, repeat. Let's try and get this fire going. Hey, that was easy. Fire. There are fire arrows. That's a story. One time, my dad and I went to the Cosmosphere in Hutchinson, which is basically a museum for space. And there was this show, many of you have probably seen it, the Dr. Goddard's, like, it's talking about, basically the gist of it, from what I remember, is it talked about liquid fuel source, right? Not gas, because they used liquid nitrogen in the thing or something like that. Ooh, that's getting fast and loud. Just let that burn for a minute. I'm gonna take this off just in case if I need to deal with it. Be mobile, be ready. Ah, the flame in my face. That burned down a bit. So, my story was about the Cosmosphere. Dr. Goddard's lab, talking about liquid-based fuel sources for the rocket engine. He was the first one to kind of do that. Anyway, they're talking about the history of the rocket, and he was trying to ask where the first rockets go. This would make a lot more sense if I talked about. So everyone's in this room. You're on benches. You're maybe like 10 feet apart, like from the speaker. But each time it's some young guy who has a script all memorized, and he tries to teach you this thing. This guy that we had a very strange voice. It was very deep. He didn't sound like he should have a deep voice, but it's also like he'd enunciate weird words. So if I were to read the last thing, yeah, I'll just 3D print something real quick. It'd be like, yeah, I'll just 3D print something real quick. Like that. Like he was like straining to get his stuff out. You should never make fun of someone's speech impediments if they have an impediment. But this guy just had this voice. he was talking about the history of the rocket. And supposedly, the Chinese were the first one. Well, supposedly, they were the first one to do rockets based on fireworks. And so he was talking about the Chinese shooting rockets at the Mongolians with fireworks on them to scare them away. So to go right next to them, they'd be like, oh my God. And so the way he said it, and it probably got dumbed down after us repeating it so many times, but he goes, the Chinese fired Mongolian fire arrows. And and my dad thought that was really funny, and he goes, fire arrows, Mongolian fire arrows. Keep in mind, we're on the second row. This guy can definitely hear us, and he looks right at him. He kind of stares at him like he just make fun of me saying fire arrows. And so for like the rest of the day, or even anything with arrows or fireworks, you'd be missing out if someone didn't say Mongolian fire arrows. Fire arrows. And I say that every once in a while, but not in the situation most of the time to talk about fire arrows. Whoa! My lapel fell. Dave's lapel. Okay, well, let's look at the next thing. Now that my fire's out once again. This is a good one. And you have to kind of exercise it yourself. People forget the mistakes that you do. After enough time, people will forget your mistakes. And I've had a lot of cringy phases. I've done a lot of stupid things. And that's kind of just how I work, is I say stupid things so quickly that every once in a while, there will be something smart or cool or funny. And so it's like a shotgun blast of information. Some things hit, most don't. So you say a lot of stupid things, and then if you're a person who worries and cares about how other people see you, you'll be like, oh my God, they think I'm an idiot. But people forget. No one cares. And people will only think that about themselves. And I want you to remember, what was an embarrassing thing someone else, not you, someone else did in second grade? Go ahead. You probably can't think of anything. I didn't give you a lot of time to think. But you can probably remember something embarrassing you did in second grade. I'm trying to think of something that I did. I did a lot of embarrassing things, so it kind of fills itself in. I don't really remember anything. This is a really good example because I don't remember anything off the top of my head. But the saying still holds true. No one gives a crap what you've done. And if it's a mistake, people will usually forget it, unless it's something crazy. But most people don't make crazy mistakes. And even then, you'll probably be forgiven at some point. I wish my fire was going. I wish I had a log. That'd be best. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't think I have a log anywhere. Just one single log would do me fine, but I don't really have anything to shawl down. Okay. I think it's gas time. So it's not about lighting. It's about having enough fuel. It's just that the thing that's burning the most is actually just the leaves. And then these little twigs are burning up real quick. If I had a log, I could get that going crazy, because I've done that a few times now. But the gas would only. I get what you're saying, but I probably won't do that yet. I don't know why I would need to, but it's mostly the leaves. The leaves go whoosh, burn all the sticks, and then I'm done. And that's basically how it's been going. Little Mike, what'd you miss? I talked about fire arrows. I talked about people forgetting your mistakes. Talked about some other stuff that I don't remember. We're going to try and set this fire up again. The problem, though, is now that you guys don't really have a lot to look at. So I'm sorry. But it'll be worth it in the long run. Hopefully. Okay, everyone. I already know what's going on. He threw a pencil in the fire. I did do that. Teach me how to shave. How many times should you use a disposable before you throw it away? Hashtag dad facts. I don't use a disposable razor. I use a safety razor. So it's just a blade. You should. The way I tell is when I should stop using that. It's when it's dull and you can see the blade. It's dull. But a disposable one, I would read the packaging. Most blades are going to be a different quality, I'm guessing. And so it might say, I would guess, I could see you getting away with like three full shaves. Maybe not touch ups. You could probably get away with a bunch more of those. But like full shaves, probably three. And unless it's like, something crazy. I don't know. I can't really help you with the disposable ones. I could teach you about safety razor shaving. But right now I'm outside. I can't really teach that. I can teach you how to make a really big fire because this, you can't see it, but this is going to get crazy. I promise. Your guys, I might actually, it might get too crazy. Oh God, here it goes. Oh, just kidding. I'm a liar. A safety razor cost effective. Yes. A box of safety razors literally costs like $7. They're really awesome. Might invest. Just get a guarded blade. You just get a double-sided razor. Pop it in. You just have to be careful though, because it's an open blade. It doesn't have any protection. So you have to lubricate yourself. That sounded weird. Do I have my lapel on? No, it's over here. You have to, use some kind of shaving cream or lathering. But I actually haven't shaved in a long time. I've only trimmed mostly. And so I use an electric, whatever that's called. So let's try to get this fire going. All right, kids. It might go. It might go. Ah, flies buzzing me. Dang it, Bobby. Ah! How to soften butter fast. Microwave 5 seconds.
Hey, Krabs! I'm burning behind the chum bucket. Yes, All of your Krabby Patty trash is now in my fire pit.
Whoa. Whoa. It's getting crazy in here, people. It's getting crazy. To quote Shane, wild. Wild. So, why didn't Plankton just grab a Krabby Patty from the trash? I think he did at some point, didn't he? Go get a guitar and sing Fire, Water, Burn. I could. I should do that, actually. I shouldn't do that, but I could go do it. Oh, I'm crying now. There's smoke in my face. That's a good idea, Lyle. I might go do that. That'd be a good campfire thing to do. You can at least bring it out here. Okay, I can go grab it. I might not do it just yet. The roof is on fire. The roof is on fire. The roof is on fire. We don't need no water, let the motherfucker burn. Burn, motherfucker, burn. That was it. That was a song. Hello, my name is Jimmy Poppin. I'm a dumb white guy. Hope I don't get copyright strike because that was so similar to the song. I'm so talented. Oh God. This damn fire. I shouldn't have named the live stream whatever I did. I think it was Fireside Chat with Caden Runnalls. If I can't have a damn fire, I just have this nice light. I look like I'm in the Blair Witch Project right now. Look like an idiot. Idiot. Boom, 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 boom. We don't need no water, let the motherfucker burn. Woo! Come on, I just thought I had it. But it didn't go. And the air conditioner kicked on. I'm not even inside. Life is hard. We don't need no water. What? How many times have you relit the fire now? I don't know, Jillian. Why don't you go back and count? I'll get gas. How do you like them apples? Woo! That actually scared me. Oh, God. Woo! The embers are on me. They're on me. Get away. Don't land on the keyboard. Woo! That was hot. That was hot. It was a hot fire. Well, that's nice. Well, while the fire's going, let's chat about our next topic. Let me put my lapel on. Here we go. This is one that I believe in a lot. I don't believe in luck, but I feel like people create their own luck. There was a thing, a documentary basically about Darren Brown. He's a British hypnotist, magician kind of guy, illusionist. He's really interesting. All of his stuff's on YouTube for free. They're like 40-minute long things. They're actually crazy. Anyway, he was talking about how people create their own luck. And people who take opportunities, they say yes to everything. They say yes to everything. You're more likely to have a good situation, build a connection, get to know someone. So they take every opportunity they can. And so there's this one about this one dude that was just like, this person walking down the street and someone stops him and like, would you take a survey, blah, blah, blah. And they take it. And it was something that they're like interested in. They picked this guy predetermined. And it was this guy and he said yes to it. And it was like, name 3 basketball teams. And this guy was like a giant NBA fan. And he named it and they gave him $20. And he's like, oh, cool. I'm lucky. This next guy is this guy who doesn't believe in luck and he thinks he has bad luck. He believes in it. He thinks he has bad luck. And he's a butcher. And they do the same thing to him, but because he said no to the survey, he didn't get his question. His question was name 3 types of meat. And he could have got an easy $20, but because he said no, he didn't have the opportunity, and so he considered himself not lucky. It even got to the point where they had this van, and they drove it by him, and his name was like Larry, and it was like, Larry, call this number, and he didn't call it, and he saw it. They made sure he saw it, but he didn't call it. But another guy, Dave, the guy who could name all the basketball players, he called the number, and it was like, Dave, call this number. And he won some money or something again. And he's like, man, I'm so lucky. So it's just about taking, so what the whole gist of this is to take all the opportunities you can. Always try to say yes if you can. Don't be a yes man and learn when you need to say no. But if someone like, this is what I've always found. If you're at a group setting and people say, one person says, "Hey, I'm gonna go run to Quick Trip, something, something." Be like, "Anyone want to go?" You should always say yes if it's just like them and another person, because one, you'll make a stronger connection with them. You'll go and have an experience, and you'll go and you'll learn, or you'll do something, or at least it'll try to be fun. You should never be like, "No, I'm gonna sit here and not do anything." Take risks and get $20. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. If you take risks, you'll get $20. So anyway, always try to say yes. Try to go do things. If someone says, "Hey, you want to go on this vacation with me?" You should try to say yes, unless it's crazy. Or if someone says, "Hey, you want to try this out?" You should at least try it, unless it's dangerous. The old Bob Peterson quote: "Never do anything that could harm you physically, mentally, or sexually, but do everything else." He also has a fourth one, I think, but I don't remember. Old Bob Peterson. Well, let's try to put some wood on this fire. Take risks, get $20 financially. I don't know what that was referring to. Don't do anything that could hurt you financially. That I think that's actually something he would say, but probably not. I'm back, everyone. Do you know the difference between putting something on the middle rack and the top rack in an oven? Wish my sister was in here. She's a facts teacher. She'd probably know this. Here's my two guesses. Top level, it's probably going to be colder. Bottom level is going to be hotter. Or if you need something cooked from top up or top down or in the middle, I feel like it's one of those. I have a feeling it's one of those two things. Here comes the fire. Yeah. How's that for a fire? It's really hot. I feel like I'm on the top rack right now. Oh, shit. Ugh, I moved my guitar out of the way because those embers were coming down. Portuguesa. POV. You're on a date with a father figure, Ginger. That's what the perspective looks like with the fire in the background. Are you enjoying your date? Hi, I'm Caden Runnalls. I like long walks on the beach and quiet afternoons. I burped. I'm sorry. How's her portfolio looking? Is it diversified? It's good to hear. You know, theoretically, you should invest in the stock market now while it's low. Most stocks are... God dang it, there's so much smoke in my face. Should we move? Let's move. Okay, let's see what's going on. Thoughts on music being put on after music is dead. Juice WRLD being the most recent example I can think of. See, that was a big thing with Michael Jackson. It was a big joke that he was making hologram tours. And I think it should be first go through the permission of the family. But I don't see any family that's going to be like, oh, our multimillionaire musician of a child died and we want more money. And all we have to do is say yes and we don't have to do any work. Yeah, we're going to do that. You know, so go through the family first, the spouse. What was that one song? I keep talking about Michael Jackson, but there's a song that him and Drake did after he was dead. I don't know how that works, but I mean, if you can get it done, I guess it doesn't matter as long as the family or the artists themselves before they died said to do things. Do you see that as a morally wrong thing? No, I don't really do. I mean, so it really doesn't matter in the long run. It doesn't really matter. Like, it's not like it's harming them. Keeps their image alive. It's just their voice. I don't know the exact like thought process behind it, but if you were to have a dead person, you know, with a good singing voice, then you could, in fact, just, you know, put them in a different song. I don't know. Are they deep faking their voices to make new songs, or it's just songs they've done, or they're remixing their songs? Because those two, I don't care. Anyway, I don't really have a stance on that. I don't care. They're musicians. They're multimillionaires. We're going to our next topic. Items are only things. So when people get passed down things, Jesus, my eyes. Ugh. When people get passed down things, they obviously care for those things because it's a memory of the person that passed it down to them. But when people get very attached to things and they're upset because they don't have certain things, what does that item really mean to you if you don't have that memory of that person already? If you don't have Grandpa's left sock, then what, like, do you not remember what Grandpa was like without his left sock? Do you not have a good memory of Grandpa? I get like pictures and stuff, but really crazy stuff like guns, I guess. Guns have a lot of wealth. People, instead of putting like money, like investing money, they'll buy guns. And so they pass those down. So I guess that's oh my gosh, I gotta find a better way to light myself. I really do look like I'm in the Blair Witch Project. So like I've had to think about items and things, and it's all of, you know, as long as you have that memory, like what is value if it's not, you know, there's a whole thing about on South Park. I feel like I mentioned South Park twice now, where Stan's grandpa can't remember what his dog looked like when he was younger. I don't remember what her name is, Lassie or something. And he, to make up for, I offered to take it over and work on it some profit, but she decided to sell it and only get 2%. My reason will be mad at that. So let me talk. I'll come back to that since that's there, and I won't forget about it. The comment. So with the South Park thing, to make up for memories or inherent value that the grandpa has to Stan, he buys him those he goes on the jewelry shopping channels on TV, and they target old people, and he buys them like a bolo tie. And instead of like making memories or anything, he tries to make his worth this bolo tie that means nothing and is worthless because Stan tries to pawn it, and he can only get $10 off of it, which his grandpa bought it for about $5,000 off the marketing channel. So Stan gives Grandpa a present, and it's a picture of his dog, so he can remember what his dog looks like, and that's a good memory. And that picture has more inherent value than a bolo tie that you can't sell after purchase. So we give value to things based on their memory, such as a picture, not a bolo tie. Back to little Mike's comment. My grandpa's scrapyard, I offered to take it over and work on it and give some profit to my mom, but she decided to sell it and only get 10%. So you could be upset. Yeah, you have a right to be upset about that. Obviously, because you said you would take it over. That's a lot of responsibility that you're offering to take over and give profit back. But instead, she decided that she would rather sell it, only get 10%. Is that 10% of the sell value or 10% of business? I understand business, because if she sells it to another company that she knows won't go under, not saying that you would make it go under, but if she sold it to another company and she knew it was going to be profitable and she would get 10% of that forever, that would be a good investment, instead of relying on you to then hopefully get her a profit when you don't have any kind of background in that. 10% off of what was currently on the land. Oh, that's different, because it's not a returning profit. It's not a returning like you're not going to continue profiting off of that one-time transaction. So yeah, you could be mad about that. But this is the whole thing of what I'm getting around to. You can be mad about that, but it's only things. In the long run, if that holds sentimental value to your grandpa, then that hurts that it's gone, but you still have the memory of your grandpa. If it was only in name, if I had a distant cousin or relative that had a Runnalls strip club, I probably wouldn't run it, but it's my name, and by name you'd feel like you had to run it. So if it's by name, or if it's by continuing that legacy, yeah, that'd be good. You should try to do that, but it's just stuff. In the long run, it's only things. You don't, obviously, such as they did not take it when they're gone. When you're gone, you don't take those things with you. And so it's more about, without sounding like a idiot, memes. And when I say memes, that's like culture, history, your ideas, your religion, your way of living to the next generation. There's genes and there's memes. So passing on your genes, your memes, passing on both those things is the thing that is more than passing down a stick, So that was the whole point of me getting to. I get your situation, but in the end, it is only things. And you, one day, if you want to continue that, you can, I don't know if your goal is to make a scrapyard, but you can make a scrapyard and you can name it after your grandpa. And that would be a great way to honor his legacy if you feel like that's what it is. Or you could plant a tree in a park, put a plaque under it, says your grandpa's name. People will walk by it, they'll have some shade, they can read a name, say, oh, cool. And, that's it. So yeah. My light came back on. You can't see it, but it's behind me. Oh, and then it went off again. Cool. Whoops. I was trying to put my drink there. Let's see what our next thing is, because I got a lot in here. So we talked about items are only things, and now we're going to talk about living in the present. And I think I'm going to loop this in with, what are you drinking? I'm drinking an Arnold Palmer, not an alcoholic one, just lemonade and iced tea. I'm going to loop these next two topics together because I think they kind of build off each other. So one of them is living in the present, while the other one is social media life. And I think I could break up the social media life, so it'll just be a long topic. So living in the present. The other most, I don't know if it's just me, but I find myself day to day, I'm always distracted by something, and there's never a moment where there's nothing distracting me. I'm not doing something. I just sit down and I listen and I take everything in. I don't do that a lot, and I don't think a lot of people do. And I think it has a lot to do with our phone, because we have instant gratification. We can think of anything we want and look it up, or we can do anything we want and look it up. But if you do it, it's kind of eye-opening. Not to sound like a Zen god or anything, I don't do it that much. But if you just like sit down, you turn off your phone, you're not distracted, you just kind of think. And maybe this is me. Maybe it's just I cope with life just by being distracted all the time. But if you just sit down and listen and you just think, and whatever comes to your brain, and you solve that, or you think about it, you go through it. It's really like you learn things. Like I did that. I remember it was in college. Every day I was doing something from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to sleep. I was looking at something, I was watching something, I was talking to someone, I was going to do something. I was listening to music. Like there was not a single moment where I just sat down and didn't do anything. And I remember it was like a Saturday, and I was laying in bed, and I just laid there, didn't listen to anything, turned off the lights, and I just laid there. And like things just like came flooding out of what I was thinking that I didn't want to think about. And so if you get through those things, you feel better about yourself in the end. But it helps you realize the mental state you're in without being distracted or about putting on a face saying, I actually feel good and I'm talking to all these people all the time and I'm distracted and I'm really not upset or sad or worried or anxious. So that's part of it, living in the present. I'm going to loop that in with technology and social media life. Most people don't give two whips about your social media. Hold on before I go into this. Do you ever disassociate and go through a scenario in your head and it kind of gets too real? I'm not exactly sure what you're entailing. Do I disassociate and go through a scenario in your head and it gets too real? Do you mean like overthink about something might happen? Disassociate. I do have experiences sometimes where I look into it. It's always happened with a car window. You look into a car window and you see your reflection and you go, this is the human I am. Like I don't get another choice. This is who I am. I've been basically luck has put me into this person and I can't change it now. And I've had all these life experiences, but this is the body I inhabit. Like I feel like my consciousness is right behind my eyes and everything else is like I'm piloting, a big body. I feel like that one alien in Men in Black where his face opens up and he goes, Orion's belt. But I don't know what you mean about this. I got a missed call from someone today, and I just imagined that it was a call that was going to tell me a family member died, and I kind of went to the eulogy I would give. Yeah, I think a lot of I don't want to assume, but a lot of guys have moments like that. I guess I can speak as a guy. I think every guy, and I will almost guarantee it, almost every guy has sat down in school and thought, if a school shooter came in, how would I save everyone? What would I do? And it's never about like, wouldn't it really suck if someone came in and shot us? No, it's always like if someone came down, I would get down, I would crawl across the ground, and then as he was reloading, I would tackle him, or I would throw a chair at him, and I would rush him, and I would say something, and I would, I think every guy's had that situation. I think that's just our brains coping, or not coping, but like trying to be prepared for what could happen. And I think you in that situation were prepared for the worst, which most men, I like to think, are. I don't want to say women aren't prepared for the worst, but you were prepared for the worst possible situation. You got that call and you said, 316-321-6036. Bill might give them a call. Undercover skank. Thank you for whatever was going on. Anyway, I think you had the worst possible situation in your head and you were prepared for that to happen. And so you said, you went through that worst possible situation and you were, how you would handle it and what you would say and what you would do. And I think that's just being a prepared person and thinking about your future. I was talking about social media. Undercover skank. I'm actually so intrigued about this number. What does that mean? Who are you? Why are you an undercover skank? I don't know. Speaking of social media, I'm going to check that real quick. Let's check my phone. There's nothing. So social media, no one really cares about your social media presence, your opinion. I've never looked at a friend of mine and went through their social media and thought that I got anything about their personality through it, because I know how fake it is. And I think that's the thing that our generation, and I say our generation, Gen Z, millennials, they know that your online presence is fake and you should never take that as that person. And so whenever I see what I see the most is, oh, this is how they want me to think they are. And usually they're not that. So this kind of comes around to voicing your opinion online. And I've seen a lot of it lately with Corona masks. No one cares. You can have your opinion, but you don't have to virtue signal to be like, I hate that I have to wear masks every day. And then your buddy goes, yeah, me too. Cool. What a great connection we all just made. Where you said something and your buddy commented on it. I guess if you want to, like, you have the right to do that. Opinions are like armpits. Everyone has them and they smell, or everyone has two of them, and you need to cover them with chemicals to make them not smell so bad. So opinions, no one really cares. You can share your life with people. The whole point of social media is to share what what you're doing and keeping up with people. Here we go. Do face-to-face conversations about your opinion not matter then? No. I'm glad you brought that up. If you care about something and you speak, sorry, a fly flew in my ear. If you care about something so much and you go face-to-face and you face that opinion or you speak it face-to-face, that's fine. Like, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Everyone can voice their opinion. That's your American right. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't voice your opinion on social media. It's just that if you think that you're going to get a lot done with that, then you're mistaken. I'm not trying to keep it political, but think about a lawmaker. No lawmaker goes on Twitter and looks for someone's tweet about how they don't want to wear a mask. No one cares. They look at the people sending letters. They look at the people boycotting. There's a dog barking at me. They look at the people doing the physical action. The thing that's not as easy as typing 7 words on Twitter or Instagram. They look for someone actually who cares and is going to follow through. And that's how they make their decisions. They should make their decision that way. So, no, your opinions do matter. face to face. But online, and I'm only talking online, no one, you don't need, like, you shouldn't have to voice your opinion. Because this is your fake person, basically. I like to think of social media as Second Life. If anyone knows what that is, it's like where you make your avatar and you play as whoever the hell you want to be. Everyone's Second Life is their Instagram, social media, or their Twitter. You are a different person on there, and so it doesn't really matter what you put, because even if that's your opinion, it's not you. You could just be trying to get your friends to agree with you, or trying to gain some kind of stance in life. But if you disagree in something, you could try a little harder than just tweeting. And I'll get off the subject because I feel like it could bring up some bad things. But don't take social media so seriously. It was never meant to be a policy making machine. A moth just attacked me. Should we try the fire again? I still got to burn this wood. So let's do that. Let's put that there. Maybe. Oh my gosh, there's a big old June bug on the table. Big old June bug on the table. Let's see what we can do. I can't get this off. Hi. I'm going to turn the light so you guys can see what's going on. You probably can't even see that. But it's the thought that counts. Okay, guys. This is going to get crazy. I'm going to put some gas on this. I singed my hairs a little bit, but that's okay. It's all for the video. But I was careful about it. I knew the risk and I took them. Look, the wind's blowing the exact perfect way. What a perfect night. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, I am mistaken. It's starting to blow my way. All right, let's go to the next topic while we have fire. Here's one. This is just a little tip. It's not going to be a big conversation. And just to remind everyone, these are all things that I've been told, not told, but father figures or, people in my life have kind of passed down to me. And so none of this is just like me pulling this out of my butt. It's just stuff I've learned or picked up and just kind of hanging out, talking about stuff. This one is, before you go camping, always set up the tent in your yard to practice. You never want to get to a campsite. This is what I always think. When people get to campsites, the last thing they think about doing is setting up the tent because it's not dark yet. Just hang out outside. But then it starts getting dark and you go, oh, I need to set up my tent. And you've never done it before. Good luck, because tents can be hard to set up sometimes. So my tip, the day or two before you go, 12 o'clock or like 9 in the morning, go outside with your tent, set it up, see what you need, see if you need a hammer, see if you need some mallets, figure out how to do it, see if you'll need 2 people, and then damn, that burnt down really quickly. But see if you'll need 2 people, and so you'll be prepared to go camping. And now that I think about it, I think my next few tips are a lot to do with camping and hiking and stuff like that. So be prepared for that. Let's see. Yes. So the next one is another camping tip. For fire starters. Hey, look at that. For fire starters, hand sanitizer, lint, Doritos. These all sound crazy. Well, not really. Hand sanitizer has a lot of alcohol in it. Lint is just flammable. Doritos is the one that's crazy. But something about it is flammable. And it must just be the spices and the bread, like the chip tortilla of it. So if you're ever in the woods and you have hand sanitizer or Doritos or lint, try that to start a fire. Why did our girls never do that more? I feel like he could have easily just got some lint out of his pocket instead of like getting moss, like dry moss. Anyway. My next one is, regular people don't care about your online opinion. So, whoops, I already talked about that. Here's one, and this is obviously from a relative. Thank an EMS worker, or an EMS responder, first responder. So everyone, this is the thing, and I think a lot of people know, but people always talk about policemen and they talk about firefighters. There's always something for the firefighter, some pancake feed, some label. Everyone's talking about the policemen, either how much they suck or how much they did great. They're in the front lines. But the EMS people don't really get a lot of, thank you. They are medically trained people who aren't the first to arrive, but are the ones with probably the most skill. They are keeping you alive, and no one really ever like thanks them. They're always like, "Oh, that's the guy who picked me up in the ambulance, took me to the doctor, who saved my life." The EMS person is the first one to look at you, the first one to code you, the first one to say, "Well, are you going to live or not? And can I make you live longer? And hopefully get you to a doctor that will make you live the longest." So if you know an EMS person, thank them because they do a lot. There's a story that my dad told me. It wasn't a story. It was more of a hypothetical. It was a bit. Bits run in my family. And he was talking about how police officers don't really like do a lot on accident scenes. And he did the bit of, he was a police officer, and I'll try to redo it, but he did it so much better, is where they pull up, the guy's laying on the ground, he's really beat up, he needs to go to the hospital quick, and he says, they say, "Oh man, yeah, that looks like it hurts. How you feeling?" The guy's drooling out of his mouth. He's not doing anything. He needs to see medical attention. "Ooh, man, I would not like to be you right now. Hey, I think back in my my squad car, I might have a first aid kit, maybe a bandage. Maybe I can wrap it. Maybe wrap your, something." And they're watching the guy bleed out on the ground. This isn't a real story. They'd probably do something. But that's a bit. I don't know. It always made me laugh. But that's the thing, too. My dad was an EMS responder for 14 years. A first responder. My eyes are watering because I just got smoke in my face. Your message got restricted. Oh, it got retracted. So you retracted it. Anyway, he was an EMS worker for 14 years. I don't know what they're called. See, that's the thing. Police officer, firefighter. There's a point in our health class where it was talking about these people. When you're on drugs, you could be mean to your parents, your coworkers, EMS or firefighters, police officers, ambulance guys. You see that there's a problem when you call them ambulance guys. Anyway, so my dad was in EMS for 14 years, and he talked about him working all the time, and that was a big part of his life. And I thought about, what would he say about all this police brutality stuff? And I think he would say what a lot of people are saying, is that there's good cops and there's bad cops. But the cops that saved his ass, he could never say anything bad about them, because these people are the first one to arrive to a scene. They're making sure that it's safe for him to go and work on a patient. And they have nothing more than they do, except nothing. They have some police procedure. They have nothing more than he does. So police officers have use, and they're not horrible people. But in the wake of all this stuff, there needs to be reform. And I will leave it at that. It needs to be reformed. I don't want to get into that. So let's go to our next topic, so we don't get into this topic. Stand up to shake someone's hand. I do this all the time. Whenever you meet someone, especially if you're a guy, you should stand up to shake their hand. And I look at talk show hosts a lot. Talk show hosts will be the last one to sit down. When they introduce a guest, they'll stand up, they'll introduce them, shake their hand, or they'll wait, hug them or whatever. And then the guest will sit down, then the host sits down. Make sure they're comfortable first. Anyway, you stand up to shake someone's hand. Whenever I'm in the situation where I have to remain sitting and I shake their hand, I always feel like an idiot, just because I know that rule. And it's just like a mutual respect thing. You should always stand up to shake someone's hand. But in the wake of Corona, maybe don't shake anyone's hand, and then you can avoid ever standing up again. My fire went out. I think that Southern people, or more country people, are always taught that you need to stand up. Maybe, but I think that's just because they have more of like a respect kind of culture. You respect your elders, and you respect the person you're talking to. And I think everyone should stand up when you shake someone's hand. You should never be sitting. Something about that just, it seems off to me. It seems like you're not giving them the time of day. That person is standing, and unless you're both sitting, I guess that's a way to get around it. If you're both sitting, I guess you could shake their hand sitting. But if someone's standing and they come up to you, or you come up to them somehow as you're sitting, and they ask to shake your hand, or they extend their hand to have it shook, then you should give them the time of day to be like, I'm going to stand up and respect you, and to introduce myself, and to have a good first impression. But anyway, that's just me. That's my dad fact. Let's see what the next thing I got. I'm going through these pretty quick, but I like them. My next one's beast. Handshakes are always weird for me. Yeah. Before I go to my next one, be skeptical. Handshakes are weird. It's all about making sure you have the right amount of like force. And also, I have a problem with this. When I'm not doing stuff, I have my hand clamped. And so if I'm sitting, my hands clamped. Oh my gosh, my arms look so skinny. I look like a damn twig. Anyway, my arms clamped, my hands clamped, and it gets sweaty. I have bad sweaty palms. And so when I need to shake someone's hand, I'm always like, or I'll make an excuse. They'll be like, sorry, I just washed my hands, when I didn't. I always feel bad about that. So handshakes can be weird, and I think they're probably going to go the way of the buffalo, because of this Corona stuff. No one's going to want to shake hands. I was just in Walmart the other day. This guy was helping me buy a converter, and me and him were not like chatting it up, but he was helping me out a lot. And I was like, hey, I'm trying to look for this. And he's like, yeah. And I was showing him a picture and everything. And then at the end of the transaction, I was like, hey, thanks for helping me out again. And he's like, yeah, of course. Sorry, that must be a lot of wind. Yeah, of course. And then he reached out his hand to shake mine. And I was like, oh, okay. And we shook hands. And it was a cool transaction. I felt like I just bought a car, but it was like a converter that was like $20. So, but it was it was cool. I feel like I know the guy more. And I always wonder, like, will I ever see this guy again? And how was my impression the first time I met him? Never know. We're talking about being skeptical now. I would always say, until something is proven to be absolutely true, be skeptical of it. And don't take this like, your buddy is like, man, I'm sad. And you're like, I doubt it. No, but you should remain skeptical of things that people you don't trust tell you, and people who don't know you personally, I guess, and that you think might not have your best intentions in mind. Always question everything. That's like, I'm a pretty big science guy, and so the whole deal of science is to question everything you know, and to make sure you're not, you're what am I trying to say? You know the truth, or
you're at least trying to work towards the truth. I'm going to read that in a second. But I always try to remain skeptical unless it's something that no one really cares that much about. But I can get in there. I'm going to read what this says. Why does getting into a stranger's car change with age? When you're a kid, it's 100% ever do, but as an adult, it's less frowned upon. Well, as a little kid, your parents are responsible for you, and you don't know anyone. And you have no way of defending yourself. You don't have a way to contact anyone. So yeah, as a child, you are trying to remain safe because you listen to adults and you are not responsible for yourself. Your parent is responsible for you. And then when you're older, you have ways of defending yourself. You can call someone, you can talk your way out of stuff, and you're responsible for yourself. A lot of people don't get into strangers' cars. Uber might be one, but that's ran through an app. But most people just don't sit in cars or go into a random person's car. So I get what you're trying to say. It's just, I don't know. Hitchhiking used to be a thing. I talked to my mom and my grandpa about it. My grandpa hitchhiked across like 10 states to get home from like military or something. I would never in my life think about putting my thumb out on a highway and saying, "Hey, buddy, will you pick me up?" There's no way in hell that I would ever think of a stranger. Well, think about the 70s, though. Ted Bundy was the most popular guy. So, anyway. Just saying any topic that comes to my mind. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not trying to poop on you. I agree. I'm glad you're giving me topics. I talked about being skeptical. Be skeptical. Learn how to shoot a pistol. I was talking with Michael. When was that? 2 days ago? And I think everyone should know how to shoot a pistol. Even if you don't want to own one, you should at least be comfortable with the idea of holding a gun in your hand. You don't have to shoot anyone with it. You don't have to do anything. You should just know how it works. And you should know how it feels to shoot one. I don't know. I think that's just knowing how things work makes you less. It was yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. You're right. Knowing how things work. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. It was yesterday. Jeez. Knowing how things work, I think makes you less afraid of things. And I know a lot of people that are afraid of guns that are like, guns are killing machines, blah, blah, blah. Once you know how to shoot a gun, you don't think of it as a killing machine. You think of it as, oh, I'm the one doing all of this. I'm the killing machine. You don't think of yourself as a killing machine. But what I'm trying to say is you should be familiar with how to use a firearm, or at least know how the inner working is. But in the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms? What do you mean? Everyone should be able to hold a gun. You don't have to own it. There's nothing to get political about. The Second Amendment says you get to go own guns, and so if that's what it says, you should learn how to shoot a gun. I don't want to get too political. Jeez. Arnold Palmer is the only thing keeping me sane right now. A little bit of hair on my tongue. Let's see what our next topic is. HR tips. So, after my dad was done with 14 years of being an EMS worker, he did life team. Jeez, Mike, get out of here. Thank you. Someone bring him in. Actually, don't get out of here. There's only 4 of you. There used to be 7. That's okay, though. This isn't really, it's not trying to say it's not for you guys, but I don't care if anyone's here. I would just be talking because I just want to have this as a way to talk. Anyway, HR tips. So after my dad was done with 14 years of EMS, he went back to school in his 30s and got a master's degree in, yes, thank you, master's degree in human resources. That's a guy in HR from The Office. He was Toby. No one liked Toby, but I actually liked Toby. He was one of my more favorite characters. So he went back and he worked for Kansas Big Brothers Big Sisters, and he was the HR, human resources and development, and he did a lot for the company. But going through this, he had a lot of cool tools and tips to work with people. And my favorite one was a story about how this lady was so overwhelmed with something she was doing. She was talking about, I'm just going to say Brandon. It's a guy who worked there, but it wasn't him. He said, this lady was like, Brandon ate all the donuts in the workroom, and I'm not getting any of my work done because they always mess with me, blah, 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 blah. And she's complaining about all these people, and she's complaining about all her work. And my dad, to bring someone out of the situation, you get there, you basically confuse them, and you overload their mind. And he goes, yeah, I have an orange tackle box too, and I hate organizing it. And the person looks at him, and they're like, what are you talking about? But it brought them down from their situation, and they were both able to laugh at it. And from there, he was able to work with them about how they can get through what she was going through. So sometimes you have to use tips like that to work with people. There was one on The Office that I thought was funny. Was it them playing a game? I think they were playing, like, Michael and him were like playing Monopoly or something, and he was like, how does it make you feel, Michael? Why do you not enjoy me? You know, I always liked Toby just because I don't know, something about him was funny to me. He's always getting picked on, and he was always trying to just be like, well, corporate says we got to do this, Michael. And what the fuck is that? Ew, bunch of ash went into my face. Welcome to The Office talk. I don't want to talk about The Office. I never got into The Office that much. I'm more of a Parks and Recs guy. You will not know how much ash is in this cup right now. But I'm going to drink it because I want to. If I think of more HR tips, I'll come back around to it. This is my actually last topic, and I have about another hour. So we might have to start BS and stuff. I can show you guys through my sketchbook. Ask someone. I've done this to a few people. This is a really good psychology trick. You meet someone new, and it can't be brand new. You can't go to someone on the bus and be like, hey, it has to be someone you've talked to a few times so they know you just enough. But you don't think your guys are best friends. You've just been around each other enough. But you would like to be better friends with them. You go to them and you say, hey, just a quick question. What are 3 things you think we have in common? And they think about it. And they say, I don't know. We both like this genre of music. And we both like making fun of this person. The third one is where they always have to think. And if they don't have to think, then they already like you. But they have to think about the third one, usually. And that is where they have to think through their head, how are we similar? What do I like about you? What can I see myself in you as? And that is a really good psychology trick to have another person like you more, or just to become more friendly with someone, just to get to know someone better. And they will imagine the things that you guys have in common, and people like to be around people they have in common with. And so that's just a good little tip. So that was all my topics. I'm just drinking Ashfield Arnold Palmer. There's Ash. Blah. Gross. I can show my sketchbook what the things I'm proud of. I'm not going to show everything, but I recently did a sketch I thought was pretty cool. This is my sketchbook. I have my notes in. Okay. So this was a tracing, not a tracing, but like I was looking at a reference image, and this is, I'm going to look at that. This is a tracing that I did. Not a tracing. There's a sketch from a picture. I'm only going to show one other one because I like the other one a lot. I did this. This is a fox that I drew. Thought this was cool. I thought I did pretty good on that one. I like the sketchy pattern of it. And right now I'm working on an alligator. So yeah. Thoughts on smoking age, being raised in Kansas. That sounds like a dad topic. A dad topic. So the thing about raising the age, the what is it? The legality of an age, you know, the legality of something you can consume. Whoever wants the thing is going to find a way to get it. And if you want to find people for getting it illegally, then that's your forte. There's a lot of research done into if we legalized all kind of drugs, then that there wouldn't be a lot of crime. But this is the thing: 21, I actually think, is a good idea because your brain stops developing after around that age. So at 18, though, your brain is still developing for another 3 years, right? 18, 19, 20, 21. 18 to 19, 19 to 20, 20 to 3 years. Your brain's developing for about another 3 years. And so throughout that time, if you're puffing on cigarettes and loading up your lip with dip, it's probably not doing a lot of good stuff for your head. But it's a free country. I think that 21 is a good age. It makes 18 becoming a little less cool. But once you hit 21, you can do whatever the hell you want. It's a free country. So yeah, that's my opinion on that. I'm going to check my phone real quick for anyone who cares. Guess I could pluck my guitar.
Cars. Everyone drives them. No one loves them. I don't know. I think oil companies suck, and I wish all cars would become electric or some other renewable source. But dad tips for cars. I don't know, man. I don't know. Don't get a diesel. The environment's already screwed up enough. You should look for something with, low gas mileage, something that doesn't have a big CO2 output. I don't know. You can't, don't take out a big car loan if you don't have to either. I don't know. Oh my gosh, my pick just flew off the table because it's so windy. I don't know a lot about cars, to be honest. I'm not a big car person. But I think, I say that, I own a really expensive car. Thoughts on COVID, going back to school. Play Wonderwall. I can do both those things, not at the same time. Where did my pick go? Houston. I seem to have lost my pick. Oh, Scheitzer. Shameful. Pick. Where did it go? I'll talk about all your stuff. I can't do it at the same time, guys. You're expecting a lot out of me. Let me find my pick first, and I'll talk about those topics. Oh, man. I found it. I found the pick. You guys are expecting a lot out of me. I don't want to be Nature Man. I'm not Nature Man. Okay, what am I talking about? COVID, and I'm playing Wonderwall. COVID sucks, but I don't want to say it, but America was unprepared, and we are now facing the repercussions of us not being prepared. And we knew the second. Oh, sorry, Sorry. My mic was not on me. We were not prepared for what was to come, and so now we're facing the repercussions of that. Going back to school, you can't keep things closed forever. And how could we have prepared? Well, America didn't have any tests, basically, for COVID. We also didn't ban travel until it was way too late. We didn't have enough respirators. We did not prepare hospitals well. Our hospital system was not too good. So we just didn't have a lot prepared.
Wonderwall. Something about that doesn't sound right to me. Today's gonna be the day that I'm gonna throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what I'm gonna do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. That doesn't sound right. I'm just gonna skip to the bridge. And all the roads we have walked are winding. Anyway, how could we? I threw a nickel into a guitar, guys, and they were playing Wonderball on campus. You want to throw a nickel into my case? I could always use a nickel. Who doesn't need a nickel nowadays? No, that's not right. Shout. I can go without a nickel. Of course you could, rich kid. How to figure out or covertly ask a person their age. Ask them an old internet meme, maybe. Be like, hey, ASL. That works. If you don't remember what ASL was, you were too young for the internet. Also, Jillian's right. That's kind of creepy. But ASL meant age, sex, location, and not sex as in gender. So when you went on a chat room, you would say ASL. People would be like, 14, male, America. And then you would know. Shout, shout, let it all out. And these are the things I can do without. Come on, I'm talking to you. Come on. Hello, been hopping around live YouTube videos, and it was quite the adventure. Haha, I guess is my next destination. What's up, great Jaos? So welcome. This is my live chat. I'm not really doing a lot. I was talking about father figure stuff. I was talking about tips. Now I'm playing the guitar. I'm not very good at the guitar, but I'm glad you could stop by. I'm glad you could jump in. We have fun around here. Real cool time. I'm kind of just interacting with the chat. It's kind of a podcast form, but it's. I'm glad you can make it. If you're friends with a person, but then didn't even realize how old they are, it can be awkward. At least that's how it is for me. I like to know. Thank you, little Mike. That is very cool. Thank you for explaining your creepy question. I'll take a guitar request. I can't play everything. I suck pretty good. But if it has easy chords, I can at least try. I did have a fire going. Great. JAOS or Haos. But it went out. I don't have a log to keep it really burning. Just a lot of twigs. We can play some Dust in the Wind. Where's you? That didn't sound very good. We're giving him conversations and opinions. Welcome, Jack Black. Talking about Tenacious D. I can play a lot of Tenacious D. 'Cause it's a pack. A Destiny Child, you know we'll be rocking 'cause it's fucking insane. Where it's like, dude, I totally miss you. I really fucking miss you. I'm all alone. Oh, I don't know how to play a B yet. I do, but I think that's it. Ah, I missed it. Oh, I missed it. All the time, dude, I totally miss you. The things we did together. Where have you gone? Tenacious D. Tenacious. Capital D. That sounded out of tune to me. Actually, that sounds okay now that I don't suck. Tastes like strawberries on a summer evening, and it sounds just like a song. I wish I was as cool as Styles. That guy's cool. Like, I want to be like him. Thoughts on Tinder and other dating platforms? I've never used any dating platform, but they seem like more of a hookup platform than a dating platform. It's, you know, I guess it's okay. It's consensual in both parts. Both parties are okay with it. It's just it seems a little weird, especially in these times of COVID. Play Tribute. I love that song. But in these weird times of COVID, meeting people is kind of hard. And so if you can be like, hey, DTF, and also, do you have COVID? And they say, yeah and no, then you're good. You're good to go. I don't know the intro. Isn't it? It's bow, 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 bow. There he goes. This is the greatest and best song in the world. Tribute. And he plays A minor. Isn't it a change though? Because he goes bow, 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 bow. I don't know. Anyway. Play the best song in the world, or I'll eat your soul. Well, me and Kyle, we looked at each other, and we each said, okay. And so we played the first thing that came to our heads. Oh, damn it. What is that? I gotta find out what an F is, guys. Now that I said that out loud, it sounds stupid. The best song in the world. All right, let's try to go back to that part. And so we played the first thing that came to our heads. It just so happened to be the best song in the world. It was the best song in the world. I wish I was better at the guitar. F is one of the... Yes, you are so right. You definitely know how to... You know what you're doing on the guitar. I don't. I've been playing for about 2 months, just learning chords. F, was one of the hardest chords for me to actually figure out how to do. That along with B. So you know what you're saying. It's just I have to remember how to do it, and I haven't done this in so long. But you're so right. That is one of the harder chords, especially that. Just something about if you don't have the finger strength and you're trying to press down on a fret, it's like literally. It's like being. That's what I like to think. Waterboarding is like. It's torture. Oh, I messed up that note. I know someone whose finger is bent because of the barcode like F. Oh man, dude, I wish that my finger would just bend, just so I could, could be the best guitar player in the world. Yeah, Mason joined. What's up, Mason? So, we've talked about a lot tonight, and we've met some people, and we've lost some people throughout the night. It's been a really tough night for us all. We've lost people, and it's okay. But here we go. This is the biggest topic of the night. Now that I've started this bit, I have to find the biggest topic of the night. Son of a bitch. Why did I start this bit without an ending? What do you guys, I think about the internet a lot. And I think with Corona that it's going to become, hey, shut up about your cool story. Anyway, I think the internet is going to become like a utility. People will buy a house and it'll be like everyone gets their government issued internet, and you can buy better packages, kind of like a weird version of healthcare. But everyone needs internet now, and people don't really have it, and so we're struggling with colleges who are like, hey, everyone, we're going to do online classes. And everyone's like, oh, I don't have a stable internet connection because I live in Kansas. And they're like, oh, that sucks. Okay, bye. So I have a feeling. I mostly want to petition for Google Fiber to be everywhere because that's the best internet ever. Where are you from, dude? Kansas. Midwestern Kansas. I have a pretty stable internet connection, but it's just people still have like SKT and HughesNet, and we don't have the infrastructure that we need in every part of the state, or this not the state, but the country to BNF. I feel like I should know what that means. But we should have the infrastructure based on what we're asking people to do to have good internet. It's come more of a because same issue here. Oh, the Philippines. Yeah, I have no doubt. People that provide slow internet are screwed when it comes to the online classes. Yep. Climbing trees. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's not as bad here. No, but that's the whole point, though. Like you said, people, it's almost like how people need electricity and water now. Oh, okay, yeah, I know what that means. It's almost how people need electricity and water is that they need an internet connection and something stable. And the internet, we're relying on it more and more during this pandemic. That if you don't have it, then you're kind of behind. Uh, so I have a feeling after this is all done, kind of like how we had the international highway system built. Who was that? Was that Eisen? No, it was not Eisenhower, or was it? Whoever built the. Now people need water. True, but whichever the president was that built the highway system, was that Eisenhower? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, some president's going to come along, and we're going to spend a lot of government money to pay for internet, and then we're going to have to pay for it at some point, just like how we have to pay tolls at roads still, which is BS. I'll get back to that, but I have a feeling people will just have to pay tolls for internet, or they'll just have it on their water bill. Lincoln. Yeah, Lincoln definitely did not build the highway system in America. I can say that almost 100% certainty. It was a very modern president. It was in the 50s. It was Eisenhower. Look at that. Look at us from Kansas even. Eisenhower's our guy. From Kansas. The coolest president to not do that much. I was getting to toll roads. So you know how you take interstates places and you have to pay a toll road, right? And they're like 14 cents. It's not 14. It's like almost $1. I was told that at some point, the road's supposed to be paid off and you shouldn't have to pay for a toll anymore. But that doesn't happen. Eisenhower built these systems, these road systems, and we are still paying for them. How many years later? May I ask a question? Been watching the news lately. I do want to know your perspective on American citizens about your current situation in the country with American media bias. Yeah, that's a big problem. I'm actually I'm not going to say that I'm an expert, but this is a big part of what I do. I'm a mass communications major, so I talk about the media all the time. And I've done journalism, and I've done a lot of stuff with that, and it's insane that both sides of both sides of the media are totally biased. I like to refer to myself as an independent, where I don't really pick a side, not a political side. I believe in a lot of things that some Republicans believe. I believe in a lot of things some Democrats believe. I just have very split values, and so I'm an independent. So when I look for the news, I kind of want an independent source, and the best I can ever find is BBC, and that's Britain. So it's hard to even listen to the news now on any big current event, because they're always going to have some kind of bias. They're always going to have an agenda to push. And so I think it's hard. It's easier for our generation. I think I've mentioned this twice today, that it's easier for our generation to look at the media and be like, yeah, that's biased. Because based on my observation, Fox News will defend Trump till the end and CNN wants to destroy him. That's exactly right. Both sides will never find a middle ground. And it's these political parties that are doing it. Each side is trying to just get at the other's throat for power, when it used to be kind of like you met in the middle. but that doesn't happen anymore. Right, they're two sides of the same coin. So it used to be different, but with the source of everyone has their own opinion now, and the only people who get viewed are the very radical ones. So it used to be everyone had an opinion, but they weren't able to share it online so easily. You land on either side, but rarely it'll stand on the end and be balanced. It's so with the advent of the internet, everyone had their own opinion, and the only people who they stood outside were the radical ones, and that's how we came about the Clintons and Donald Trump, the very radical left, very radical right, and it's where am I trying to go with this? So there's no middle ground, there's no centrist values, and so each news station has to appeal to the radical left and radical right. And the only people that I find that don't appeal to that is the BBC, because they don't care. They're Britain. Why do they care about American politics? They say Donald Trump did this today, or this person did this today. It's hard for, I think it's mostly affects older generations that used to be able to rely on the media for all their information. I have this problem with my grandparents where they think everything Fox News says is the truth, and they think that CNN is a bunch of commies and they're trying to take over America. Well, no, they're not. They're just fear mongering, but your side's doing the exact same thing. The right's not righteous, the left's not righteous. Neither of them are righteous. They're trying to push their own agenda. It's not about what's best for the people. It's about what's best for the party in power. So when you elect a president, you're not electing the president. You're electing that party and their ideas and their morals and the rich people behind them. That's why, the Clintons have so many backers, because there's a lot of rich people who are friends with the Clintons, and they would get a lot of political power if they just had a person who was president. The only thing I ever liked about Bill Clinton was his saxophone. He had a really good saxophone, and he played it on late night TV. You're putting what ideology you want. Yeah, you're right. You are. But at the same time, that's why it's hard for me to vote. No. I think you should always vote for your local leaders, like your governor or your mayor, because they're going to have way more impact on your everyday life than the president ever will. Sorry. So I think you should worry about current politics. Like 6 or more people run for presidency, unlike in the U.S. where it is only 2. Oh, sorry, I didn't read the rest of that. I also want to know how your election works, because it's quite confusing. Here in my country, there are multiple political parties, but we vote on the individuals. So when there is an election, like 6 or more people run for president, unlike the U.S. where there's only 2. It's only 2, that there are 2 main parties. So what Mike says is correct. How it works is people who usually have enough money or are going to be backed by a Democrat or a Republican will, or it's usually multiple people. So let's just say, let me think of all the people. So there's 6 people from the Democrats and there's 6 people from the Republican side, and they all go and they all campaign with usually their own money, unless they're backed by their party. Donald Trump goes and campaigns, and he's trying to win over states against what was it, Mark Rubio? I think he was last 4 terms. And so you're trying to win over your party and the other party. And so there is third parties, but the biggest two are Republicans and Democrats. But there are third parties like the Green Party. There's some centrists, but they don't get a lot of votes because they're not unified. So there's way more than 6, but I'm just saying 6. And then they all go into a like a party debate, a Republican debate, a Democratic debate, and they'll debate each other. And they'll say, Donald Trump, how are you going to handle the immigration crisis? And that's where he says, I'm going to build a huge wall. And everyone's like, oh my God. And some other person's like, I actually, think we should handle it differently. And people will vote based on their party, who they like the best. And then once they whittle down who is more likely to get more votes in that party, then the two parties go against each other. That's when it became Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Now we're at Donald Trump and Joe Biden. So there's other parties. What's going on here? Every state has a representative that vote on the party. Yes. Common people vote to tell the representative the most people want. The reps vote on their yes. Oh my Lord, y'all are going to put me to sleep. Sorry. We'll get off this topic, but why did Trump win if Hillary had more votes? Sorry. Haha, really confused. So they got the popular vote and people. So there's like 3 walls of defense before you get to become president. The common man will vote, and they vote for their representatives that will hopefully vote for who they believe. So like, I don't remember who we vote for, but we'll vote for a governor, and each state gets a certain amount of votes based on population of who they think should be president. So, well, not by population. No, actually, no, I'm right. By population. Because the way, if we, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. By population. Then those people vote, and that is the popular vote. So, say Kansas put, I think we have 3 votes or 4. We put those into Republican. Some other state puts them into something else. So the common people vote, and so once it gets there to the last stage, the Electoral College gets the final say based on what's going on and who they think will be the best candidate for president, based on their ideas, based on their people who have voted, the popularity and whatnot. So Hillary Clinton got the popular vote, but the Electoral College decided that Donald Trump would be a better president, so he was elected. Yep. Hillary had more comment, but the reps of the state only vote that matters. No, I think you're sort of right, but it all came down to the Electoral College. And the reason we have the Electoral College is because if we didn't, California would decide every one of our elections, because they have such a large population that states such as Kansas, Maine, South Dakota wouldn't really matter. Whatever California wanted, they would have. So the whole point of the Electoral College is to take everyone else's ideas. Oh, I didn't mean to be mean about it. You're basically right. You basically had what you were talking about. You had it right on the money. It was just the Electoral College. You just forgot them. Let's stop talking about or not to get away from this topic. It was a good topic, and I'm glad we were able to talk about it. But seems like people are getting bored by it. If you have any more questions about anything, let me know, man. I'm not a very I like to think I'm informed. I like to think that I'm pretty smart when it comes to most things. I'll tell you when I'm not. But I feel like I don't have a big bias. If you went to a certain person, they'd be like, yeah, Fox does really lie to you all the time, and you should watch out for them. But CNN is a trustful news source. And you'd be like, oh, cool. But I'm going to tell you that both sides suck and that you should never trust either side. You. Yeah. Let's have a chill topic. But thank you for the giving. Yep, yep, yep. Whoa. That was a, what was that one dinosaur movie? Land Before Time. I feel like we should get the fire going again. Let's try and do that. Of course, so I'm always here to give insight if I can. I'm going to try to get the fire going. If you guys have anything else to talk about, put in the comments, and I will try and comment on it. Did you guys see that cool jump? Yeah, I'm pretty epic. Let's get this fire going. I don't know where the lighter is. Oh, there it is. It's on the ground. After I singed all my hairs off. What's up? Whoa. Half an hour left. Let's end it off on a banger. Should mandatory housing be a thing? Because the government has recently closed down, the biggest news corporation of my country. Oh, they shut down the biggest news corporation, and I am a bit scared that we are heading like a dictatorship or something. Dang. We have been here for 3 hours. But anyways, did anyone watch the sequel trilogy of Star Wars? Haha, pretty bad. Just be careful, man. Try to stay informed with other news sources and to be safe. Being informed is the most important in these times. That's very true. Everything you guys said is very true. Yeah. Whoa. As long as they're not censoring the internet like China does, you should be able to find all information you would ever need. You never move towards a dictatorship. I'm just gonna watch that and make sure I don't die. But sorry, I'm getting burnt. Ugh. Okay, that's a little better. Most people think they employ the government restriction or expressing, and also be careful how that part. It seems pretty near, but it's kind of far away. It's kind of near. I do need to be careful. You're right, but I'm watching it. It's all good. It looks like my extra wood is actually really close to the fire, so hopefully that doesn't catch on fire. Anyway, sorry, I'm not being a very good host. Dang it, it's almost out already. Let me try and throw some more on before I come back, because I know I'm going to sit down, I'm going to talk for like 10 seconds, and then it's going to be gone. Okay, that seems good enough. I'm a nature man. Yeah, I like to consider myself a nature man, but I'm probably not. I'm a poser. Anyway, I say a lot. I wonder if there's a way to like correct that. There's a way to, you know, when you say you can say something else. It just seems like a filler word. It probably gets annoying. Fire. It looks a lot cooler on screen than it does when you're right next to me. I think it's just the exposure of the fire. Man, I've really been enjoying the live stream journey, because maybe I lack human interaction ahead. Heard of a lot of good insight around the world. Thanks, Caden. Hey, of course, buddy. I'm always here to talk. I hope I can, this is just what this was about. This is about, kind of a podcast. If no one was here, I would just talk. But I'm glad that you could jump in and you could talk about stuff. I love talking to people about my views and, trying to give insight. Little Mike says, I feel like improv classes might help with that. Always help you think of stuff to say. That's true. I think I could take a few improv classes. I take acting. I'm an actor, but see, I think I say but more than I say but I think it's just a filler word, because I think it'd be weird if I cut off sentences and I was just like, yes, that's what I think about that. Did the raccoon ever die, Nature Man? Got to bring up the raccoon, don't you, buddy? Okay, I guess I'll tell the raccoon ballad. I was house sitting for my aunt and uncle, and they own this big property. M. Doll says, my pin 15 is dripping. Thank you. That was great of you to say. The raccoon era was when I was house sitting, and I was supposed to feed the cats and horses, but the shed that had the cat food in it would get broke into. Yeah, broke into every night, and the cat food would be eaten, and uh, the dog food box would be tore up to get to the food. And I found that it was raccoons because the people, my aunt and uncle, took their dogs with them on this trip. And so the raccoons weren't bothered by the dogs, and so they were getting crazy, walk right through a cat door and eat all this food. And I was like, crap, I'm supposed to be watching out of this place. So I called them. They're like, yeah, there should be a door. There's no door. It was like a tiny little plastic cover that popped off with the breeze. So I was like, well, that sucks. Try to block it up one night with some plywood. Like, raccoons can't get into stuff if they're not too crazy. They break in, and this happens 3 nights in a row. And I'm like, oh my God, they're tearing up the shed. So I'm like, I have to do something about it. I can't trap them because there's cats, and the cats will get in and they'll get trapped. I can't poison them because there's cats. Cats will get in and eat the poison. So my best idea was to shoot the thing. I had a pistol. It was a revolver. It was just a 6-shooter, and I kind of messed with that. And I was like, I wonder if I could use this. I talked to my uncle, not the uncle I was house sitting for, but my other uncle. I talked to him about how I could do it, and he's like, you can open up this window. You can. Oh, sorry, I think I'm tapping on the mic. You can open up this window, and you can aim at them across the yard. It'll be like maybe a 30-foot shot, but it will kill them. It's like, okay. So I was working with a pistol, blah, blah. I'm preparing for that night to stay up all night, sit in a lawn chair, put headphones in, listen to a podcast, and wait for this raccoon. But throughout my day preparing, I find that my uncle, who I'm house sitting for, has a lever action 22. It's a A39, and I have used those before, and that would be perfect. It's a 22. It's not going to blow the damn head off the thing, but it would probably kill it, and that's would be way better. It's a rifle. If it's a 30-foot shot, then I shouldn't have to worry about my pistol aim. So I stay up all night. I'm sitting in the dark on the porch. It's a pretty nice night, though. I'm just listening to podcasts, surveying the yard. I lay out a cat food dish in the yard, just under this lamppost so I could see it. And I am waiting, I think 2:40, 2:50. I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, it's really late. I think I drank a energy drink at that point. 3 o'clock on the dot rolls around. I'm looking at Twitter, just on my phone with a dim light, and I hear a rattling of this metal the metal cat food tray. And I'm like, oh my God, is this it? Is this a cat eating the food, or is this a raccoon? I had a spotlight also, and I look down the sight. I have it I have the sights on it, and I'm like, I don't know if that's a cat or a raccoon. So my plan: shine the light, click it on, aim at the hopefully raccoon, put it in between my legs, go up for the shot. I did that, and it was a raccoon, and I was like, oh God, I've stayed up for 6 hours now, and it's finally time. I got to shoot this thing. It's sitting there just eating. It doesn't care that there's a spotlight on there. And so on this A38 or A39, it's a lever action, but it also has the hammer that pulls back. And I pull back the hammer, and I am like, okay, this is quieter. I'm still down the sight. I have it right on there. And I have it aimed up, and I'm like, okay, this is end of the raccoon era is about to happen. And I click, and it doesn't go off because it's a lever action. I didn't load the bullet in there. And I'm like, fuck. At that point, I'm like, I need to cock this lever. I need to get a bullet in the chamber. And so I'm out of the sight, pull it down, get back in. It's already walking back towards the shed that it keeps tearing up, but also right in front of a giant propane tank. And I'm like, oh God, I don't want to shoot that. But it was just, I was at a high enough angle that if I shot down, I should be able to kill it if I hit it. And so I'm already kind of crazy. I'm getting a little nervous, and I look down, and it's kind of moving, and I'm like, I just got to take the shot. I can't stay up 6 hours and not shoot this thing. And so I shot at it. I missed. It's gone. Made a loud noise. It ran. I'm like, son of a bitch. So I was nervous. I took a video. It's like, it was right in my head. I sent it to everyone that I was keeping informed about this. And I go to sleep angry because I didn't shoot this raccoon. Next day comes around, and I'm like, gotta shoot this thing again. So I come home. I went to Quick Trip, bought a cup of fruit. It was all gross, but raccoons don't care. They love fruit. Poured it in the yard. It's like, okay, this time I know he comes around 3 o'clock. I'm just gonna go to bed, wake up at 2:40, go and look out the window, hope it's there, shoot it. And I lay on the couch right next to the window that I was going to shoot out in the first place. And I wake up at 5:40 in the morning, and my alarm just says alarm. It's not even playing a noise. And I'm like, God dang it. I missed it again. And so I went outside, looked at the fruit, and it's all gone. I fed the raccoons that night. But prior to that night, I was able to set up a bungee cord with a nice piece of plywood covered up, and they didn't get back in the shed. And so I was like, okay, it didn't get back in. It ate this fruit, and it's not eating this dog food, so I'm going to call it good. I think that 2 days later, aunt and uncle get back home. I'm like, hey, I tried to get rid of the raccoon. They're like, hey, it's fine. The dogs are back. The dogs are home for 30 minutes, run into the shed, chasing a raccoon. I'm like, this wouldn't have to happen. But that was the raccoon era. So I never shot a raccoon, but I will forever be known as the guy who couldn't kill a raccoon. So I guess I'm not that great of a nature man. If I'm trying to shoot raccoons, it's a win-win. Yeah, no raccoon dead. No raccoon eating the shed food. I still wish that I could have got it just to say that I did it. But I think in the long run, it's better that the raccoon's not dead and that we all lived happily ever after. The raccoon got scared, ate some fruit the next night, got chased by a dog. Who knows? Who knows? Well, the stream's kind of coming to an end. It's almost 12. They got fruit. You got them out. Yep, I said that. I think I just said it probably as you were typing it. I almost burned through all the stuff I need to burn to. Oh, actually, I didn't because I cut more stuff down today. So maybe a part 2. Maybe Sunday I might do a part 2. Who knows? But I had a good time. It's about 3 hours, 40 minutes. I still have about 20 minutes to talk about, do whatever the hell I want. You guys are here to just witness it. But I'm glad you could. It's really dark. It's just my head floating. There's a nice light behind me. Maybe I'll try to do a different setting. I don't know where I'll be. There's not really a lot of other places I could go. It'd be cool if I could have man, you should actually make a real podcast. You're a good host, dude. Thanks, man. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I I talk about a lot of stuff. And if I could have more people on, I would totally talk to them. But it's a fun time. I am the Raccoon Man. That's what they. That's what I'm known as, the Raccoon Man. I'm like a superhero. And I go around. I'm like. That's what I think a raccoon makes, but they make more screeching noises and they attack things. To prepare, Mason Runnalls, he's my cousin, and to prepare the night before, he goes, "Do you really think you could shoot a raccoon?" And I thought about it, and I was like, "Yeah, I think I could." He was like, "You think you could look at an animal and shoot it?" I was like, "Yeah, I shoot dove. Like I've done a lot of bird hunting. I've never shot like a mammal." And so the night before, I watched a bunch of rabid raccoon videos of raccoons like attacking people or jumping at people. Yeah, I'll go on your balcony and just hang out. But raccoons attacking people just so I felt better about like this thing probably attacked people, but I didn't really hesitate, to be honest. I'm a cold-hearted killer. No, I care about nature most of the time. As long as they're not eating my cat food, damn it. Do you guys think that, like, okay, this is how I'm gonna word this. I think about how our ancestors, if they were even like barely brought into our decade, that they would literally, like, their heads would explode. Like, we have every single bit of information we could ever want on basically a phone, on a thing that's like this big. And what we do with it is we sit outside and we talk about our opinions and light stuff on fire. And so it's just so weird that we have this opportunity and we have all this information. And I think that we are the smartest that we've ever been in our in our species. I think our species is the smartest that it's ever been. I think it'll only get smarter. But I think we waste a lot of time on the internet. I don't think it's the best place to learn. Speaking of, did I do my German today? My Duolingo? I was trying to think of the educational things I do, and I try and learn German on an app. Let me just go through this easy one. You guys can come along with me, and I'll sound really cool because I know all the basics. There's a practice. Yeah, we'll do phrases.
Hallo, ich bin Anna.
Hallo, ich bin Anna. And I say, hallo, ich bin Anna. And that means, hello, I'm Anna.
Nein.
Nein means no.
Tschüss.
Tschüss means bye or goodbye. Think I'm going to dip. Got to work in the morning. Of course, you can leave whenever the hell you want. But thank you for tuning in. I hope you can join the next one. And it's been good. You've really contributed a lot to the stream. So thank you for everything you've done. Good luck at work. Don't do drugs. Danke. Danke. Tschüss. Thank you. Bye. That's what that means.
Hallo, ich bin Julia.
Hallo, ich bin Julia. Julia. I think it's just getting interesting. Yeah, it really is just getting interesting. I'm learning German while you guys talk to me. Please. Well, that is bitte. Also means pardon. I'll do my lesson too. Sweet. What time is there? It's 11:50 at night. Almost 12.
Danke.
Nein. Danke.
Am I supposed to write that in German? Yeah, okay. So it's a late night, not that late. We all stay up late. Come on. But it's getting later. Most people around me. Oh, it's 12:49 here. So it's almost 1 for you. Yeah, you're in one time zone over, aren't you? So yeah, that makes sense. Hallo. Ich bin ein Lucas. I am. What did that say?
Ja, bitte.
Yeah, bitte. Yeah, please. I've don't know why I'm learning German. I learned Spanish in high school, and I never really got into it. I wasn't very good at it, but I always thought German sounded cool. Yes, thank you, M. Doll. You've only contributed the best of comments. I've always thought German sounded cool, and it sounds and is structured very similar to English because it's a European language. I guess so is Spanish, but so you know, I don't know how to spell danke. All right, I did it. Oh, I'm glad I did it. 10 minutes to spare because that would have lost me streak. I've always been interested in Germany, not of the war crimes and atrocities they committed, but just like the country itself, because they're, hey dude, if you want to develop your German, you should do a Pimsleur course, because I do Spanish with Duo and Pimsleur. Oh, sexy bitch. I'm gonna type that Pimsleur. Pim. Let me look that up. Pimsleur. Okay. I'm gonna get that. I'm downloading it right now. The sexy bitch thing is a really cool. It's a video called Danger 5, and it's like a very cheesy, like 50s take on like a what's that called when the wind's blowing probably pretty hard. Dang it! When a TV show is really like kind of crappy, you call it. Oh dang it! I want to say like chalky, but it's not that. It's anyway. So it's really it's really effective language learning. You can be conversational after the course. I turned on because of fan. I get what you're saying. I might have to do that. I know what you're talking about, so I might have to torrent it. So Danger 5 is this thing that's like a 50s, and it's basically about like these super. It's not parody. Schlocky. That's what it's called. I don't know why I thought of it. Schlock. It's poorly made, but it's like on purpose. It is a parody, but it's about these Americans who fight these different terrorists, and one of them is a super Nazis, and they're like totally overblown. But there's this one, it's a puppet of a German Shepherd, and he's like speaks in this German accent. He goes, and it's really funny to me. But to fight this German dog, the American people, they get another German Shepherd dog that's like a robot, and the robot's like, it's like, what can I do for you, master? And he's like, activate sexy bitch. And the robot dog goes, sexy bitch mode activated. And she like hobbles over to the German dog, and so he's like, hello stranger. And they're like, mein Führer Hund. And he's like all swooned by this German Shepherd, and she's like, you have a light for that cigarette? And he's like, sure thing, Blondie. And she smokes the cigarette and blows all the smoke in his mouth, and he's like, and he passes out, and that's how they get by him. But I really, something about the way they speak. They go, hold on, wait a minute. Activate sexy bitch. It's so weird how they speak, but it's so funny to me. Oh man. But it sounds funny. I'll check it out. Yeah. Danger 5. Check out Danger 5. And if you want, just to find that bit, it's Danger 5. I think it's German dog. Nazi Shepherd. Danger 5, Nazi Shepherd. And just to find his bits are so funny. But the reason I was talking about that is because Germany is such a strange set of circumstances to lead them to where they are, because after World War One, they had so much debt that they were literally just printing money, and people would build houses out of the stacks of money because it costs so little. It costs less than bricks. So people would just have these stacks of dollar bills. I don't know, what are they called? Francs, maybe? And they would stack them. And it just, kids would play with them as building blocks, blah, blah, blah. And so their economy was so bad that they were literally just like, well, let's have this crazy person jump in and be our leader. And that's when Adolf Hitler shows up with his failed art degree. And he's crazy, and people are like, this is the leader we need. And he actually did some good for their economy until he went bananas in pajamas and went for all the Jewish people, which when you pick a race and you go, them, and then you say kill, that doesn't go well most of the time. So he blamed everything on the Jews, and they didn't like that. And at one point, they actually were just like, we should sounds familiar. That's so true. Sounds familiar. Yeah, so at one point, this will even sound more familiar. They will say, that's so true. The Nazi party said at one point, let's deport all the Jews and wish them good luck. Let them go to their own place. We want our Lebensraum, which means living space. We want to take all this land for us, but we're okay with the Jews living. Just go somewhere else and good luck. Once they found out that deporting costs a lot of money, they go, let's just kill them all. And so they sent them to camps and killed them all. And Kristallnacht happened. It was actually in their doctrine that they were like, we wish the Jews good luck in their own separate area. And that was really like, they were like, well, that costs way too much money for our war efforts, so we're just going to kill them. So, that was a really strange thing. So anyway, the reason, it's just so weird, it's almost like a psychology experiment of how downtrodden can people become until they just accept whatever leader will bring them any source of satisfaction. So it's weird to think about. And there's no way they would have won anyway. The stuff they were trying to accomplish was way too out of their league. They didn't have any money. They didn't have the natural resources to do it. So they would have been screwed any other way. They would have done a little better if Hitler didn't interfere with everything, because he was absolutely insane. And he, once again, was bananas in pajamas. And he, such as staying in Russia with no winter gear during the winter. They show up in the fall, or they show up in the summer. Stalingrad lasts way too long. They're there in the winter. A bunch of people are like, hey, maybe we should leave because we're not prepared for this. And Russia is, because they live here. And they go, they, as in Hitler, goes, 9, keeps the soldiers there. And they all freeze. And that's the first time in World War II when we found out that maybe the Nazis weren't going to win because they're insane. And that's basically, they didn't learn from Napoleon. That's exactly right. Anyone who tries to invade Russia forgets that there's way too many of them and it's way too cold. You cannot be there when it's that cold. And you can also not kill all of them. Yeah, basically Russia's never been taken over. Also, Pakistan has never been taken over because it's a bunch of tribes, basically. You can never control Pakistan. I wish I knew more about more modern wars, Desert Storm, that kind of stuff, War on Terror. But I don't. I wish I did, because I was so young during them that we don't get taught that in school. And I guess I could always, use my smart device and look up some stuff, but I'm just too lazy at this point. Do a lot of other random stuff, such as stream for 4 hours and do fires. So yeah, but it's a life we live. Russia has taken over by that is true. You're actually very correct. The only thing, ideologically, they can be taken over, but physically, they can't be taken over by communism. Your points are always so true. It's it's, I don't know. Russia's another one. Stalin also did some way worse things than Hitler but because they were our allies at the time, we didn't care. So history is written by the winners. And there's probably stuff we will not find out until those people aren't the winners. Well, guys, it's just now rolled around 12 o'clock. I burned a lot of my wood, which was the goal of tonight. The goal of the night was to burn some wood, have some chats, and I think I'm going to go in, take a shower because I smell like smoke. But glad you all could join me. I got to carry all this stuff in anyways. My house is just right around the corner. But so maybe if I feel up to it, I might try again Sunday. Who knows? I have some more wood to burn. Maybe I'll try to find a log or two so I don't have to worry about the wood so much. And I'll have more topics built up. But thank you guys for coming. 4-hour video. Good times. Just stay safe. Be skeptical. Love each other. Be nice to each other. And of course, thank you, man. I'm glad I gained a fan. So everyone, have a good night and stay safe. Goodbye.